Welcome into the Dice Dragons Guild. In this hall, we unite under one banner. Live by the die.
Die by the die.
Okay.
I am Izzi,
That's
your
manageable.
lore master, and forgive my lack of a voice and my natural one on the die. With me today, I have...
Oh, it's me. I am Cuba. I play Ayla Myrea. She is a tiefling glamour bard, and I rolled an 11.
11. All right, plus 3, right?
Yep.
Wow. All right, who's next?
Oh, this guy.
Hey.
Hello, I'm Adam. I play Eldon Strackhaven. He is a human Drake Warden Ranger, and I rolled a 2.
Oh, well, still 7.
Better than
Still 7. All right.
Yeah, that's good, because he always goes last.
Hi, I'm Patrick. I play Malachi Morningstar. He's a Dampier Hexblade Warlock, and I rolled a 19.
Wow, look at that.
Big roller.
Okay.
I switched out the dice.
Nice, very good. Oh, hi. Hi, I'm Julie. I play Kethra Evermoon, a human Circle of the Moon druid, and I rolled a 8.
An 8. Okay. You only have one single digit besides me.
Oh, you get ready. Hi, I'm Amanda. I play Iolite. She's an Earth Genasi Circle of Stars druid, and I rolled a 6.
Okay. So still above Eldon.
You know,
It is.
I only have a fucking +5.
Yeah, right.
You know how I felt the whole last campaign. Highest dex in the
dex can
party
help you
went
now.
last every initiative.
Kai gets to go first. So, thank you for tuning in to our story, Eleothis, Land of the Woven Sons, our homebrew campaign with the Woven Fates. You can watch our story for free on Patreon and YouTube. Our VODs go up within a couple of days of us recording the session. You can also get early access to the podcast version of our story, which goes up on Spotify on Mondays. And we release those when we release the VODs. So if you check that out, we have 74 patrons, which thank you to the newest patron, Liz, who has joined us as a member of the guild. So welcome to the guild. And thank you for your support. You can become a free patron as well. We have everything up there. There's no paywall unless you want extra stuff, which comes out periodically. We also want to say thank you to scribequill.com. That's SCRYBE quill.com for giving us access to recaps. So you can go on their site, upload your audio. It takes that, summarizes it. You can choose a voice and background music, and then it creates a recap of your prior session. You, as the creator of it, do have the ability to edit. If there's like spelling errors or whatever, we know with our fantasy games, we come up with a lot of names. And then it comes up with a narration with the music and a video that just does scrolling text with a background that they have. I highly recommend it. We have it up on our YouTube, and you can check that out along with our commissioned art character commissions from Mibble Art. Merch. You can go to tinyurl.com/DDG merch and check out some of our designs as we have here at the table. Woven Fates, Dice Dragons Guild.
Didn't know we were wearing black today.
Close.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to be colorful and wear brown instead.
For the music, we are happily using Monument Studios Fantasy Plus, which just released their new user interface on March 25th. Go check that out. You can use a promo code that they have right now to get free 90 days on the platform, so I really highly recommend going and looking at that. Michael Gelfi Studios, Alexander Miller, aka the Boy King of Idaho, which you are listening to right now, All Hail the Six is the name of this track. And Kevin MacLeod in Compotech for our ambiance and background music, and you can find the links in the show notes. Cons and events. Rising Phoenix Con is April 25th through the 27th. And I'm sure there's more coming up. I just have not done any research into them. I will definitely not be there. I have another conference that I have to go to. That is not a nerd conference. Giveaways. I'm working on something in the background that I will release more information on once I've kind of gathered all the pieces, but hopefully those of you who are watching will have a chance to win something soon. Other than that,
Like, share, subscribe.
you kneel on cold stone, the muffled sounds of your party echoing faintly from the molten roost through the tunnel behind you. The wish escapes your lips, and you summon forth a small pile of scrolls, booklets, scraps of paper, all writings of Master Calith Drenvor on the history and rumors of your family. And you know what is soon to follow. At first, you remain composed, your resolve unyielding as you wait. For the briefest of moments, it's as if the march of time has halted in its tracks, and you are alone with your thoughts. It has only been a handful of days since you began fleeing from the nameless stalker, but in earnest, you had been running for much longer than that. Running from the truth of what you are, what you did. A murderer. And yes, this newfound family, these woven fates, you among them, would be quick to rush to your side, to justify the action that you took that evening. To make you feel better or help push the horrible truth away. Your blood family did the same, after all. You know that none of them would ever hold you truly accountable for the fate of Isabel Fanix. But you did. As much as you didn't talk about it, and as much as you tried over and over to convince yourself that perhaps some small sliver of justice could be found in the story leading up to the night you lost control, as the soft orange glow of Chaos's moon paints the pale skin of your hands pastel, you know it's not true. You know the scales do not balance her painful words with your deadly actions. You are a stealer of life. That is what they call vampires, isn't it? You wonder if the vampires out there in Devenia are haunted by the look of absolute terror on the faces of everyone they have ever killed. Eyes wide, face suddenly drained of all color, scream caught in the throat. Or maybe it goes away in time. Isabel's expression blurs from your vision as it is replaced by the here and now. Slowly, from the very earth, not 10 feet before you, a dreadful form begins to coalesce. At first, it's just a ripple, a subtle shifting of shadow and stone that gathers into a vaguely humanoid shape. Gradually, its outline sharpens, and a haunting luminescence mingles with the darkness, as if it were born of the very night itself. Before your eyes, the creature rises with deliberate slowness, its long, spindly arms tipped with an almost imperceptible touch, seem to barely graze the ground as it steps forward, hovering ominously above you. Up until now, you felt ready to face whatever challenge might come, certain that your courage would be enough. But as the creature fully appears, its form both otherworldly and horrific, an overwhelming dread begins to seep into your heart. In that moment, the confident resolve you once held shatters, and you start trembling, realizing that this confrontation is far more formidable than you could have ever imagined. For a brief, disquieting moment, a strange relief washes over you, a whisper of respite from the relentless nightmares that have haunted your sleep, the ceaseless dreams of being chased, the crushing weight of questions about your very existence, the torment of wondering how you came to be, seems suddenly less burdensome. as if the possibility of ending your strife on this plane might finally be welcome. You feel the creature's cold, deliberate intent as its elongated arms extend toward you. Kai, I have one question for you. In these final moments, do you keep your eyes open or do you close them?
Kai, at first, as it comes close, he closes his eyes to look down. But no, he's going to open his eyes and look up at it.
With an eerie gentleness that belies its monstrous nature, the creature reaches out and delicately lifts the necklace from your neck. In that instant, you experience a sickening tug deep in your stomach and along your spine. A visceral reminder that this moment may mark your end. The chain passes up, above your lips, your nose, your eyes, the crown of your head. And as if performing a sacred rite, the creature cradles the necklace, then slowly raises it toward where a head might be. In a surreal and awe-inspiring transformation, as the gleaming pendant descends over an invisible head and neck, a spectral visage begins to form. The creature's entire body, no longer a monstrosity, shimmers and grows translucent, like an iridescent shell catching the light of a fading star. It reminds you in so many ways of your friend Iolite, when she captures the essence of the night sky and becomes the dark tapestry of twinkling lights. In that moment, a profound warmth washes over you. The terror that gripped you ebbs away, replaced by a calm resolve that feels almost divine. You sense that you've been granted a powerful blessing, one of courage, coaxed from somewhere deep inside your soul. You watch as the shimmering, iridescent being fixes its gaze upon you, a gaze that seems to peer into your very essence, though you can make out only a vague humanoid outline. For a wordless, suspended moment, you remain motionless, kneeling where the creature found you. Its newly formed head tilts slowly upward as though taking the opportunity to admire the stars above. After a few long, unspoken seconds, the being turns. With a measured, almost ritualistic cadence, it steps off the cliff edge, moving as silently as a shadow drifting into the canopy of trees below until it vanishes out of sight. Left alone on the cold stone, you remain for a time, your heart pounding in your ears until the racing beat finally begins to slow. Once trembling hands become steady, you gather the documents, the coveted records of Master Calith Drenvor, and feeling strangely lighter, yet burdened anew by the weight of your family secrets, you rise. You retrace your steps back into the Molten Roost, where your friends await.
Woo! Didn't die. I gotta call my daughter.
Yeah.
I don't figure out many things,
No.
but I'm so happy about this
How
one.
nervous I was.
Oh my god,
I did not
so
know
sweaty.
that was going to go how that went.
That was terrifying.
You have a blessing of courage. Mechanically, you are immune to fear effects for 30 days.
Wow.
And you have the ability to grant allies within 10 feet advantage on saving throws against fear.
Okay.
Nice.
So until...
Just became Daredevil for a month.
Absolutely worth the horrific gamble you took by touching that necklace.
I wasn't worried. I knew he was gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You head back into the Molten Roost and back to the party that is happening within the dancing of Eldon and Iolite. As you kind of come in, you see Kethra, who had maybe been looking for you, but maybe acts like she wasn't.
Probably, yeah.
And Ayla, who is being her normal self in front of everybody. What's everyone doing, or what are you doing as you come in? Get all of these documents in your arms.
Kai is going to not be in the middle of where everyone is, but he'll find a place to sit and grab one of those drinks so he can kind of decompress, as he has some reading to do later, but right now his nerves are needing a little bit of settling.
All right.
Did I pull you away to dance, or are you dancing with him?
I was dancing with him, I think.
Okay, I forgot what I was doing.
Thought you two went to go do something.
Did we? Oh, we left them.
To
Yeah.
have a little moment. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if at one point we would be like, that motherfucker has no necklace.
Probably, sir. Yeah.
You'd probably more easily and readily notice that he's got a bunch of documents in his hands. He's just got a whole bunch of
Kethra would be like,
documents.
Did he wear the necklace
pull
on
the
the
shit out of your
outside of
ass.
his clothes or under?
Um,
Was he being flashy about it?
probably not flashy about it, but you would probably
see it.
like see if there was a chain hanging.
I thought the necklace was obnoxiously gaudy. Like if you hid it under your clothes, it would look chunky. Maybe I'm just making that. Maybe that's just my own headcanon. But like, I pictured this thing of like those wooden fucking wind chimes, but like necklace form, like this.
It's like one of those like early 2000s like chunky statement necklaces.
Yeah,
that
like
everyone
it
wore.
was
It
just
like
this
turquoise.
hideous giant thing
More like
full of
a-
lots of parts.
Like some sort of like a large charm, but on like
thin chain.
like thin chain, like one of those like classic like extra long.
Okay. So once again, I'm on a different book than the rest of you.
Side by side with the scribe recap, we should have the Cuba recap.
You don't.
So he's got
I don't know if you
fucking
want
necklace.
that.
and see where it deviates.
Looks like you bought it at Charming Jollies.
So, what would you like to do for the ending of this party, or the night as it is coming to a close?
Oh, so we were off
Yeah.
getting that fire drink or something. What this guy carrying? Did he raid a library?
Or he pulled those all out of his ass.
Those are the only two options.
The only places people get books.
That's it.
The library.
Library or your
their
own
ass.
That's the only options that exist.
Hey, bookworm.
Huh, my thoughts exactly. Let's go bother him.
A fucking nerd.
Smack him out of his hands.
Booked him like a freshman in high school.
The hell do you have?
I have some information about my mother and father.
How did they have that here? I mean,
Yeah, where did you
this
get
is a
that?
cave.
You really didn't get that from your ass, did you?
No. Yes.
Not my ass.
Someone else's.
I found out that one of the Keeper's Lawmasters has been doing research for a while on my family and has information about me, more specifically my mother. I don't think I was a result of my mother being attacked. It seems as though my mother fell in love, and I am a product of that love.
Well, that's a good thing.
But I'm not sure. I have a bunch of things I have to look over. Maybe there'll be some answers in there.
I'm really happy you found all that information, but you kind of like danced over how you came about the information. You said they had information on you. Who did?
The Grand Lore Keeper of the Grand Lore Master of the Keepers.
They had this information on you?
That is a lot of books of information.
It seems they've been putting it together for a while, before I was born. So I wished for it.
You what?
What do you mean you wished for it?
Exactly as I said.
I mean, you said those exact words. I have to.
I don't think I heard you correctly. You said you wished for it. Does that mean it had anything to do with that fucking necklace?
Fucking found it.
There it is.
What's the name of it? Just so we
Perfect.
know.
Write it down.
Thatched Villagers
Thatched village.
by Kevin MacLeod.
Thanks, Kevin.
This totally just changed the tone.
I'm just.
Well, in the background, Iolite and Eldon are dancing, and
Us
Eldon
just
is
drunk.
drunk and enjoying himself. So
At
as
least
you have
Eldon-
this
at least
conversation,
Eldon
he's
is.
like,
Ayla was tipsy.
Yeah, you were drunk.
You were
Oh, yeah.
drunk.
Sorry.
That's just,
And that was
that's just the dragon. That's just the dragon.
Kethra's been drinking too.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you said that there's a wish, so everybody, we
We
must
don't-
leave this cave.
We don't have to worry about that anymore.
I'm pretty sure we do.
We don't.
Holy fucking shit! She
How did
says
you get that?
really loud and goes through the cave.
And Kevin's like, ditto. You're not a pile of goo, so that's fucking wonderful. But explain.
Are you the monster now?
No. It just wanted the necklace. That's all. The inscription said those in its way will be obliterated. It just wanted the necklace.
I hate to ask the kind of fucked up questions, but what happened to it? Where is it now?
It took the necklace and reformed.
Does it have a head now?
It did, for a moment.
Oh.
It seemed to just fade away into nothing.
Just poof, gone?
The longer I kept that necklace, the more people were put in danger. I know we put distance between us and it, but how many people have died? How much longer till it caught up to us?
Well,
I couldn't let fear put everyone at risk.
I must say the balls that you have rival that giant dragon over there. I'll take my closet back, please.
She goes, in a fucking minute. You just decided to just do it, huh? And just put all you, just hope to God, that hope to every God out there that was gonna work.
I had to have faith.
Are you mentally unstable?
Isla's gonna back out of this conversation and make her way to the bar.
I'm well aware of your slight issues with like having a fucking death wish and shit, but
I'm still a work in progress.
You are the most frustrating individual I have ever fucking met.
I've heard that before.
From her.
You hear in the distance, "You will not believe the balls my friend has."
Come.
As she's
And she's gonna go, "Well, you better," she's like, "You better, I'm gonna be kind and not go around and tell everybody the truth about what Isla's talking about, okay? Just don't be." I will lie, sir. Anyway. Seriously.
I needed to know more than anything else.
I really, really get that. I do. How sure were you? My question isn't, did you care what happened to you? Either way.
I don't want to die, if that's what you're asking.
Just ask because you tend to have a death wish.
Every...
And Heather's over there watching. She's going. She's like,
just like,
and as you're talking, you'll just see her go. Just getting real illustrative with your balls over there.
pointing at the dragon.
There was more to it. A while back, the Raven Queen gave me a vision. Something about Dagon's soul not being able to move on. She spoke with the one Loris, the one that was close with Dagon. She said she had a plan to help him move on. I'm beginning to think that my birth wasn't random.
Seems that it's not.
And I can't run from my destiny. I have to see this through.
You do. But all I ask is next time you're going to do something crazy like this, can you just please let us know? Because I don't think you realize that we all care about you.
I'm still getting used to people that care for me. And I will remember that next time.
It's definitely, I understand, I'm not used to having people care about me either. But you're a part of this group and you have to remember that they care about you as much as I do, if not more. Why don't you, do you want to take your small library?
I thought she was going to say something else when she said
Your small library and your tiny balls.
It's like, that was too on the nose. So, I can cover for you, if anyone asks where you went.
Thank you, Kath.
She goes, and take this with you. And she hands Nyx to him.
Just picture Nyx just like up on his shoulder, just kind of.
She wants to have another drink and she doesn't want to get judged by her familiar. So,
So Kai will excuse himself and try and find kind of a secluded, not like conspicuous, but just a place that he might be able to kind of put things together and start reading some of the things.
Okay.
just a little light reading.
There are rooms around. There is a library that, if you just kind of wander around, nobody's stopping you as you.
You'd probably, if he found a library, he would probably go in there. It'd be least conspicuous, somebody going through a bunch of books and things during a party in a library.
Yeah. So easily you're able to go into the library and
what? Schniz, whatever. The library, they had the big old dance off.
Schniz.
Did sniz?
shiz.
Shiz. That is okay. When I say schniz,
Use the schniz.
don't know if you were trying to say sniz or shindig or what the fuck you were saying.
Everyone was dancing through life in the library.
It's easy enough to find the library and to begin reading some of the books. Anything else anybody else is doing?
Ayla wants to go talk to the lady that he talked, but like maybe later on when like things are winding down.
Okay. Anything else anyone else is doing?
Kethra's going to get the strongest drink that they offer.
Okay. Easy enough. There are people kind of walking around giving people drinks. There's nobody set necessarily as like a server, but just as drinks are being made, people are walking around making sure everybody has it. So you can grab one.
2.
And you get them. Are you drinking them?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Make those con saves, buddy. I think this is
20.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Doing good. Just pounding it.
Wow, it's nice that Kethra can drink.
Oh,
I
one more.
cannot.
One more.
I cannot.
Oh, whoa, that one.
17 plus 2. 19.
Okay.
Dang.
I'm pretty sure this is round 4. You're still doing just fine.
Well, see, now
Look at
she's
that iron
like
glitter.
kind of angry at Kai for what he did, like alone.
Yeah.
Just burning through that alcohol.
She's
So,
slightly irritated. She's not totally angry. She's just like, you selfish son of a bitch. Like, come on.
I would
get
say-
you wanted to do it. I get it, but selfish.
yeah. I would say
Trash.
you couldn't have 4 drinks without at least getting tipsy, even those are really good rolls. So, you'd be tipsy at the very least. Maybe they're a little watered down and you just don't know. But as you watch, I'd say for Kethra, watching Eldon and Iolite dance, and then Ayla, who's running her mouth to people and making Kai's decision all about
giant
her.
scrotums in the air.
She got a drink, but it's one of those she hasn't drank it yet. She's just
It's spilling.
yeah. She's like, and then the balls.
She's projecting her best Seagal as she commandeers Kai's story for her own. And there's just time for you sitting there with Nyx not there to judge you. And just thinking about, of course, the relief of this creature no longer following you, Kai, but you. And yet, at the same time, you are headed directly towards where you didn't want to be. So there's no longer a sense of running away, but that dread of heading towards the thing that you ran away from in the first place that's still there.
And as she's thinking about it, she downs the entire first drink.
It's still there.
And the second one.
Ayla. Or before the end of the night, Eldon, Iolite, anything.
Eldon's just dancing and having fun. And he's just enjoying her presence.
Dancing through life.
Is there anything that you wanted to do?
Nope, she'd just be dancing. She might have another drink, but
It's interesting, Eldon being here and dancing, and while you are definitely drunk, that almost adds to it, because unlike being with the keepers and being with your former brothers and sisters, this would never have been acceptable. And it's not to say that what the keepers do is wrong, but it definitely is not liberating, which is what this is. There's no forcefulness to be drinking with this crowd of people, but they are truly having fun. And even as you are enjoying yourself with Iolite and you're like letting go and feeling Theratrix off in the side, communicating somehow with Pyrothorn, and like the excitement and then concern and then like elation and nervousness and all of these different emotions that Theratrix is feeling. Yours still are stronger. They're coming from you, but it's just unlike anything that you have ever experienced with people who, as you look around, they are wearing keeper clothing that has been fashioned or changed in some way to no longer be in line with the uniform. You even see Zerla, the one who was so passionate to be amongst the ranks of the keepers when she was there, just with a smile on her face. And there's a moment too where you think how infrequently you saw smiles in the keepers' ranks. And the joy that is on the faces of these people who can't help but look at you every once in a while. Everybody's just like, you're the reason why this welcome feast is happening.
This feels very much in line in Eldon. The way he's feeling is this is what it felt like when we were other places doing this kind of thing, with the mix of home, of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like just close enough because, you know, like you said, everyone's dressed. We're back in the mountains. I think you might have actually said last week this is like the closest to home he's felt, I suppose you could say, like in a natural way, that non-stuffy, you know what I mean, like you were saying that the keepers kind of are. This feels right, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Like it feels to Eldon, it just feels right.
So Ayla,
Hi.
you want to after you're done talking about the cojones on your friend, you wanted to chat with Sirasha, the lore keeper here, and
Is she in like a tent or something?
she
Definitely
was
didn't listen last week.
she was in her office.
Right,
But she comes
is there
out.
like a curtain or?
They're all kind
I feel like he spoke in private. No, he.
yeah. No,
Like
they're
I said, he didn't.
so all the room you're in like a cavern, so all the rooms are built into the stone, or a lot of the rooms we'll say. But she's got a door that opens and closes. But you wouldn't have seen her, so she comes out. She's out amongst the partygoers having a drink here and there.
I do one of these and I go, "Do you have a moment to talk?"
She has a drink in her hand and smiles at you. Of course. How can I help you?
Apparently, you have a lot of have access to a lot of knowledge, and I wanted to see if perhaps you could help me with something.
I can certainly try. I have had the good fortune of being in great company with a lot of individuals who have shared their stories with me, and others who have been willing to enlighten me with knowledge that they themselves have.
Oh, that's good. Perhaps we can go somewhere less loud.
My office. Please, come with me. She walks you past the little, I don't know why I can't think of the word, little gallery where storytelling area that people were telling stories in earlier, and you enter into her office. It's pretty humble looking, but she beckons for you to sit down, and she sits in her seat, some comfy chair she has in the room. And we're thrown back to a scene very similar where you sit down exactly where Kai, in his butt impressions in the chair.
Chair smells like Kai.
Smells like giant balls.
Giant balls.
Let's say
You can
there's
see
an
the
indent.
imprint of
And
her
there's an
Dragon
indent on the cushion of
steel
balls.
balls.
2 divots. in
Oh,
the
I can
chair.
tell Kai was sitting here.
Giant ball mark.
Left an impression on the chair.
The chair's made of stone.
That's right.
A giant sack.
They're steel.
Well, clearly you have been keeping tabs on us for quite a while, since you have knowledge of us being in Yamari. You must also know that the guardians of Yamari Island were also taken while we were there.
Yes, I heard. Very tragic. The once safe haven. Lots of folks have heard of Yamari Island. Seemed a dream, if anything. But I suppose it will become like the rest of Eleothis.
Yes, although the rest of Eleothis is interesting, it is, I'd like to keep Yamari. My question is, could you give me any information on, or do you have any information on where any of the keepers ended up? Perhaps I will be able to recover some of them to send back.
The guardians of Yamari Island?
Yes. Did I say something else?
Keepers.
Oops. Damn you!
I have not heard anything about the guardians. It was my understanding that they were killed. That was something that I had heard.
Some were, but others were taken. I figure such rare creatures would be much sought after, and if they ended up somewhere I could possibly track down.
Unfortunately, you are correct. They would be much sought after. And so, while it has not been on our radar, unfortunately, our priority has been to find the second eye. What I would say is it's very likely that for some time it will be very difficult to track them down. While everyone is looking for them actively, and it is the top thing on the minds of leadership, I'm sure there are folks with significant magical abilities who have been tasked with trying to locate them. Again, it has not been a concern of ours here in the Molten Roost, but I would imagine that unless you have access to scrying abilities, and even then, if someone has been willing to pay for a guardian of Yamari Island, they would have to have significant resources, and would not want to be found by someone simply looking. The island is owned by the Cassian and Callian empires.
Yes.
I would imagine that the crowns would be out there doing what they can.
I cannot say. I really never paid much attention to the world outside Yamari in great detail. I don't really know how much they actually care about the island, but that is my home. So I can say confidently I care more than them.
Understood. I'm sorry that this happened to your home. It must have been a great shock for you and everyone else who lives there.
Yeah. Well, it was worth a shot. She gets up. Perhaps one other thing. A boat departed from Yamari that ended up being lost. I believe the name was the Deadly Fedora. Are you familiar with this vessel?
I am.
Do you know of its fate at all?
The last that I heard was it disappeared and then was found far to the west of here. Northwest. Not where it should have ended up.
Were there survivors?
There was no one on the ship.
Though,
interestingly, it is said that there was a trail leading away. Went for quite some time.
a trail of footprints.
Footprints and a strange rotted substance.
Does that trigger something for me with the rotted trail that we encountered many times over on the island?
What do you mean by does that trigger?
Like, would I associate them? I don't even know if they're the same thing, actually.
I'm not following what your question is. Are you putting it together that these are the same thing?
I'm asking if she would.
You don't have to ask me.
Okay.
You can just put it together. I mean, you could just do it.
I don't know if I had to roll an insight or something like that.
No. You'd asked a question, and I can't remember what it was besides that.
I asked if she knew about it. She said it was west of there, so
Far west of where you are now, yes.
far west. Do we have a name for where it ended up?
It was along the western coast. Outside of Eporia, however, you would, to the north of the mountains, you, from my understanding, it headed out into the meadows. Where the crew went, there's no information. All of the goods, the majority of the merchandise was left on the ship, and so rumor has it, anyway, that once that was accounted for, there was little in the way of resources willing to be spent finding the individuals who were on the ship. The captain has been dishonorably discharged, and the crew as well. Any claims would not be recognized at this point, as happens if a crew abandons its ship.
Okay. Well, thank you for what you were able to tell me.
Of course. We had been keeping track of the various ships, as it was our understanding that the second eye would be on one of them. So, once we
Understandable.
discounted that, Zuruk felt a lot better.
Very well. Again, thank you.
Of course.
Kai got good information. I didn't, so I just walked out of there.
She takes a sip, another sip of her drink, watches you go. Like, interesting group that has arrived.
What can you tell me about monkeys? Okay, also, I'm looking for a lost ship.
Also, can you just tell me all the plot points of this entire story?
It's worth a
Of
shot!
course it is.
I want to know about boats and monkeys.
All right. So the evening wears on. Zuruk at some point during the night disappeared from the party. Did not make a big show of it. Pyrothorin also left. And so everybody else just kind of, as the night is winding on and winding down, Theratrix is sitting on his own, watching everything going on. But Zuruk is no longer there. You are all shown where you can sleep. There are quarters available, plenty of space for sleeping, either in individual rooms or in groups. And your night ends. Kai,
How many pillows did they give us?
as many as you want. Kai, while reading in the library, you learn quite a bit about what Master Drenvor has found. Hold on, there we go.
Don't worry, it's far north of here.
So, picking through the notes and scrolls, there are some, it's not, it's enough for a bundle in your arm, but it's not a big stack. These are notes that Drenvor has been taking on his own, his own time. It has nothing to do with the keepers necessarily. So it seems as though he just has a passion for, and Eldon would have known this, but just a passion for history, lore, the area around
It's like
Eporia.
like a pet project
Yeah.
that he was kind of working on in his spare time.
Yeah,
It's,
probably
the
among
Charlie
multiples.
Day meme from Always Sunny.
Where's Pepe Silva? Where's Pepe Silva? There is no Pepe Silva.
It's likely that he has many of them going on at the same time. What you do learn is that he has rumors about your mother's life. And your grandmother, might have spoken of your mom, but never going into great detail. She seemed to get very sad. And then it would just be, this is not something that you're going to talk about. You need to take a break. You do see an excerpt from his personal journal that says, my pursuit of knowledge concerning the Morningstar lineage has led me to uncover conflicting accounts of one Lady Rebecca Morningstar, daughter of Queen Selene, intended bride to Lord Michael Corvus, and mother to the fabled twins Malachi and Mallory Morningstar. You see notes of a possibility of a secret lover, as you had gotten a little bit of a taste of. Several former servants that claimed that she would slip away under cover of night, often meeting a striking young man who possessed long silvery hair. One person swore that they witnessed the pair fly over the castle walls at one point, which is by the man's own power, they thought, which is why everyone started calling him a vampire. Quietly, the servants. It remained unconfirmed. He conducted interviews in Devenia about the Royal Eclipse massacre. It happened on the night of the wedding. There were accounts that suggested that it was a vampire that assaulted the group. Malachi and Mallory were born. Niklas was killed by the vampire, but also slew that vampire. And he got the name Azura in certain circles. Your uncle, also born that same evening. And then, while he was doing those interviews, a lot of people would try to hush any rumors of it being vampiric activity, even though people started to really believe that it was. From the book that you had already had, there's an excerpt here in the annotated draft that you can see he was writing more and had found more information. Quoting, there exists a pervasive whisper that the Morningstar lineage may trace back to Dagon of the Dawn's Light, a once immortal champion of the Raven Queen tasked for centuries with eliminating vampires and liches. Dagon's legacy, if indeed connected, would suggest the Morningstars carry a burden of conflict with vampiric powers, one that persists to this day. In their documented past, so as you're reading, you come across the name Bernard Morningstar. Would Kai have heard of Bernard? How far back does his family talk of their history?
They would probably, because that was the father of the first Queen Morningstar. So he was probably heard, but I doubt that they would go very deep into anything. But he's probably aware that Bernard Morningstar was the father of the first queen.
So your finger traces along and you come to the name Bernard and you feel a little prick of electricity. Your vision tunnels into the center as if you're having one of your dreams. And you find yourself sitting in a private study. A stately room dimly lit by the wavering glow of a single lantern. The drapes are drawn, muffling the sound of the bustling household beyond your door. Your eyes drift over piles of parchments and ancient tomes, half of them in languages you only partially understand. A steady thrum of curiosity keeps you awake, curiosity that borders on obsession. You cannot say precisely when you came to be fixated on this notion of prolonged life, an existence that stretches beyond the mere handful of decades allotted to your kind. It seems unfair. The elves walk this earth for centuries, their youth and vigor preserved, while human flesh withers and fades in what feels like an instant. You have everything a man of noble birth could desire: wealth, renown, a blossoming family name. Yet a stubborn whisper in your mind insists it is not enough. You fear time itself conspiring against you, ending your family's ascent just as it has begun. An old text lies open before you, describing the lifespans of various races. The footnotes catch your attention, references to forbidden arts and cursed bloodlines. The details are scant, but they draw you in, heart pounding with each line you devour. Flicking through the brittle pages, you discover mention of things that cheat death, creatures whose curse grants them a life far exceeding mortal bounds. Vampires. The very word makes your pulse quicken. You've heard the hushed stories, tales meant to frighten children, or so you always believed. Yet here, in these dusty pages, the legends read almost like possibility. It is as though some invisible hand is guiding you along, illuminating each passage in your mind. A soft current of thought tickles the back of your mind. If they can do it, why not me? Why not my family? A tremor runs through your chest. Even considering such an idea feels like walking a dangerous path, and yet you cannot deny the lure. You feel compelled, as if a gentle but insistent presence in the shadows wants you to turn the page, to see what lies deeper, to know. At length, you tear your gaze from the book and lean back in your chair, exhaling a breath you hadn't realized you'd been holding. Your study seems eerily silent now, the hush broken only by the distant stir of servants in the hallway. Something shifts near the window, a faint flicker of motion that draws your attention. There, balanced on the sill, perches a raven, black as night. The bird tilts its head, regarding you with an uncanny stillness. In an instant, it spreads its wings and is gone, leaving nothing but a solitary feather drifting lazily to the floor. It lands at your feet, dark and glossy against the polished wood. You stare at it, a curious sense of purpose blossoming within you. You pick up the feather, turning it in your hands. A shiver traces down your spine, not entirely unpleasant. The world feels different suddenly, as though some long-closed door has cracked open, inviting you to peer beyond mortal limitations. Holding that feather, you return your attention to the ancient text. The tales of vampires call to you now, more strongly than ever, tantalizing in their promise of power, longevity, immortality. In the silence of your study, the question echoes through your mind, in a voice that does not seem to be your own. Why should the elves be the only ones blessed with centuries to rule and build their legacy? You grip the feather and gather your resolve. For reasons you cannot fully explain, you feel certain you have been guided here. And in your heart, a seed of ambition takes root. And then you see your vision comes back, and you are sitting in the room of the library in the Molten Roost, wondering who you just were. This was not Dagon this time. It was someone else. Though you still feel connected to that person. And that is where we will take a break. Party goes on. You all take your places of rest once it is completed. And it is Celebration 28. A long rest.
So we're done with exhaustion levels now, I think.
Yes.
Nah, I don't think you are. You have at least 2. We got 1 from the fight, and then you got 1 from drinking. Pretty sure.
Did I?
No,
No,
No.
I thought because he actually got drunk.
No, he might have
that's
a
not
hangover.
exhaustion.
Oh,
That's it, yeah.
okay.
No hangover.
I see what you're trying to do.
The way that you rolled, there was no hangover.
I want you to make
Sabotage.
important decisions impaired.
The next day, you wake up. You can see that the Liberators have kind of a group meals, or so group breakfast in the morning, and everyone is eating together. Someone kind of knocks on your doors to let you know. Is there? Kai, you finally had your dreams that had been mostly plagued with just a feeling of being chased and something following. This was the first night where your dreams of walking in a void came back, which when you woke
good.
up was
Back to my void.
Things are
welcome.
getting back to normal.
a
I think
bit
that's
of normalcy.
that's the episode title right there. Back to my void.
Good. Back to my
Did
good.
did
Back to
Kai
my
fall
void.
asleep in the
Slime void.
library? Like wake up with a page stuck to his face?
Did Kai fall asleep in the library?
I don't think he fell asleep in the library. He took in as much as he could all at once, and then kind of did that thing where you out of sight, out of mind, so I can try and sleep.
Okay. So in the morning, you're all eating at the communal area. Folks around, some folks who have gone off to go do whatever it is that they do, whatever their charge is or their station requires. What you doing?
Did you notice?
What?
Take a look. What is missing?
Where did it go?
We don't have to worry about that thing following us anymore.
Where is it?
I gave it willingly to it.
He has the balls of a dragon.
You just let it take it?
I took a leap of faith.
He's a fucking crazy person.
Were you scared?
As any rational person should be, but I didn't let it stop me. So I made a wish to draw it close. I found out some information about my family.
And he'll kind of go through, as we've already talked about it enough this session.
It's a win-win for him.
You also found in your reading the night before that Master Drenvor had interviewed Madame Lowry in Aporia. She was dismissed from service, and as you're sharing, she had shown extreme disdain for the young heirs, calling Mallory a terror and Malachi it, and was convinced that you were a spawn of vampiric heritage. And she confirmed through her recounting of old servants' gossip that Rebecca's child was not Malachi, was not fathered by Michael, and she used derogatory language, insinuating the Never Queen had turned to a vampire for passion. And Lowry insisted that the staff had felt powerless, living in fear of both the monarchy and the potential vampiric influence lurking in the shadows, so they did not speak out openly. But as you, oh, go ahead.
So we don't have to worry about that thing catching up to us. But
That is a relief for sure.
as we go forward, I'll try not to be so impulsive.
That is a relief for sure.
We're making progress.
I learned a lesson. Are you
No
gonna miss the
promises.
closet?
It was good to be outside of that prison.
Catherine's gonna go, hey, Ayla, up top. Sorry, I just had to make sure it was really gone.
As you tuck away the magical doorknob into your pocket.
I hope you didn't leave a mess in there.
And I gotta open it up. Oh my shit! There's shit all over the walls.
Dirty dishes.
Where did all our
shit
cups
everywhere.
go?
I knew the spoons were disappearing. Damn it.
So I'm sitting like crisscross applesauce. I'm picturing us on a bench, and I'm leaning up against her, and I take a piece of the morning scone and kind of fling it at his head,
His being.
Eldon's head. I go,
Think.
and how's our boy doing? The man of the hour. The, what did they call him?
The eye.
The eye, yes.
One of the eyes.
The eye has a headache.
Yeah, the eye will get used to it.
Little hair of the dog will wear that away.
The hell does that mean?
Whatever gave you the headache, a little bit of that will get rid of it.
I don't wanna.
Are you feeling overwhelmed, excited? I mean, you must feel quite a many things.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know what to feel. To be completely honest, I don't even know what I'm here for.
Well, I think that makes all of us.
Hopefully I find out soon.
Zuruk heads over to you as you say that and has a cup of some kind of drink in his
It's
hand.
like I'm like staring at the picture on the table like, should I?
He steps over in front of you and then hands you this drink. He says, "This will help get rid of the headache. Just chug it. You don't want to taste it.
Don't think about it.
It tastes a little slimy, but you do your
was
best."
It's a red eye. Young Mr. Flanagan.
He comes over and slaps you on your shoulder a couple times. How's everyone feeling?
Oh, I'm fine. Wonderful morning.
You know how to throw a party.
We do.
It was a fun night.
I'm glad you enjoyed. If you would be so kind as to join us for our pep talk. I'd like to speak to the group every couple of days. Just remind them why they're here. And I think your arrival has heralded a great opportunity for me to speak to the grander plan.
Well, you're the man with the dragon.
This way, please. He leads you into a smaller room, but it looks like there's spaces for everyone to sit. And he stands up front. Those that are not off on whatever duties they're supposed to be performing are all here. You can see Sarasha in the back, and Zerla is more in the center. Actually, she kind of like pats down on the seat. It's like benches, open benches for you to sit down. Your whole
Zilla
group.
was the one that they spoke to, right? She's the auntie.
No,
Zerla
the
the
Sarasha is the lore keeper. So Zerla is the one who went to school with you.
Okay. That's Zerla.
So as you all sit and everyone kind of hushes themselves, Zuruk stands up in front of everyone. His signature smile, very Zix-like in its presentation. He is dressed slightly differently than the day before. It's like his ceremonial keeper's garb, but it has been repurposed, recolored. You can tell, anyone who's been part of the keepers can tell that it was previously what he would have been given, or parts of it anyway. He's probably grown a lot since he was in the keepers. Pyrothorn is not in the room with you. Too big to actually fit in this room, is out, but You see Zurich makes eye contact with everyone in the room and then says, "My friends, family, for over 150 years I have walked this path, watched and waited, hoping, believing that the day would come when we would no longer stand alone in our vision. And now, that day has come. The second eye will soon be opened." You can see and hear everyone starts there's this murmur of excitement that's kind of rippling across the little crowd. But you see Zurich kind of lifts his hand very gently. "I know what many of you feel. Hope, joy, relief that after so long the balance is shifting. But I ask you, let us not rush to shape his path before he has taken his first steps on it. Eldon has walked a different road than we have. His heart is strong, but his burden is heavy. He has not yet seen the world through the same lens that we do. Vascan Veterix did not choose his eyes because they were alike. No, he chose them because they complement. One to see what is, and one to see what could be. Eldon carries questions, doubts, and fears, as any of us would. And it's not our place to command him, but to guide him. To show him that truth does not lie in obedience, but in understanding. We do not ask him to join us out of duty. We invite him to see. To witness what the keepers have hidden. To hear the truth that was buried beneath their silence. And when his heart understands, then, and only then, will the path before us truly be clear. So I ask you, my brothers and sisters, let us meet him not as zealots demanding allegiance, but as kindred souls who believe in a future where truth is no longer a threat. The eyes will open, and soon the world will see. Again, there's more murmuring in this crowd. And he says, "Continue with your duties today. Eldon and I have a lot to talk about." People get up. A couple people come over and shake your hand or rub your back for good luck or whatever. Stand up and shuffle out of the room.
This is what it feels like to be Ayla, just a little bit.
Just a little.
Doing that cupping your hand.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
They all leave. Zurich stays. I'm sure you have a lot of questions. I'll do my best to answer them. Any of you as well.
What does it mean to have the eye open?
It's a difficult one. For me, it meant that I saw the truth. It meant that I could see what Vascan Veterix was trying to show me. You can't be forced into this. You have to be willing to make this sacrifice of sorts. He sits down, I'll say next to you, or maybe as the benches are kind of carved out of just wood. He sits on one that is in front of you, facing all of you around Eldon. So it's just him on one side and the rest of you on the other. I don't know what will happen exactly, but I believe that when both eyes are open and Vascan Veterix can truly see, there will be a sacrifice needed to bring him back to his rightful place among the stars. I think it will be tremendous. I think it will affect thousands of people. And you have to be willing to make that choice.
You say affect thousands of people. What do you mean by affect?
There are many possibilities. In Pyrothorn's visions, he has seen the falling and crumbling of the mountain. In others, the mountain is perfectly still and here, and he has seen the rising of stars, gathering, coalescing. He's heard the crying out in pain and in joy of hundreds of voices. Who's to say?
What is the sacrifice?
Again, I am not sure. It could be a sacrifice of the eyes. It could be our sacrifice. Or it could be the sacrifice of everyone else. The drakes are believed to be parts of the soul, scattered. This is the legend. The soul of Ascan Veterix scattered across the land, this mountain born of his body. What happens if the soul is brought back together? This is where faith is important, and the belief in what we are doing. I have an unwavering faith that Vascan Veterix deserves his place among the demigods of Eleothis, and that the Woven Sons were mistaken in their decision to cast him down. The Keepers act as protectors, claiming that this is Vascan Veterix's will. If he is here to protect, then why do they not allow him to do so? Why do they let him remain caged within this cavern of endless rock and stone? Chains binding him to the material plane. It makes no sense. It's selfish. Either they believe he is a protector, or they believe him a tyrant. And if they believe him a tyrant, then why do they stand underneath his banner and act as though it is theirs? I choose to believe that he is a protector. And I would see him freed from this cage.
I too believe that he is a protector.
Good. Reaches out and, again, grabs your shoulder and gives that a little shake.
But I wouldn't want to see thousands of people hurt or killed to free him.
You see him nod a little. And yet, you can't stop that. Thousands are still hurt and killed. The Keepers do whatever they can to make sure that we remain silenced.
It's true, thousands remain hurt and killed every day. But I'm not the one doing it. And if what you said, the possibility of these mountains crumbling and hurting and killing everyone in them, I'm not sure I could live with that. You said these are one of the possibilities, one of the visions that Pyrothorn has seen?
Yes?
In Walgrove, Scylla? I forgot her name. The keeper, the shrine keeper. She spoke of lights in the sky some nights. Is that you?
Yes. It is us.
What is it that you guys are doing?
On occasion, we meet those that have drakes with wings. Very rare. And we perform a rite of sorts. I'm not sure if our audience is the siblings or the Woven Sons themselves, but more of a greeting to them, to let them know we are here, to let them know we are building to the release of Vascan Veterix. We have not heard from the Woven Sons.
By all accounts, it seems quite beautiful.
It is. We hope it does him justice.
And the hooded figures coming through the pass by Walgrove. The people that come up and are never seen again.
Those are just others joining our ranks. Not everyone makes it through the trials.
I think I'll have more questions later.
Take your time. This is an important decision, and I will also caution that choosing not to open your eye does not mean that thousands or hundreds do not continue to die as a result of your choice. They just die differently. Not of your hand, but of the Keeper's.
Eldon's gonna look around. It's just us and him, or is
Yeah. It's just you.
Sarasha's not there?
No, she left. Yeah.
We have a moment alone, please.
Party leaves.
From what you just said, if Vascan Veterix is released, a possibility, the Drakes, the souls, everyone could lose their Drakes, yes?
That's one interpretation of what Pyrothoran has seen. I cannot be certain.
Where would they go? Where do Drakes go?
I believe it would be a different place than wherever it is the Drakes go when they are separated from their bonded brother and sister. In
And
those instances, their bonded sibling is destroyed and is no longer here. In this instance, we would be gathering all of the pieces of Vascan Veterix's soul and allowing it to ascend.
And what of the people they're bonded with?
That's where faith comes in. We don't know all the answers, but we know that the Ur-Dragon is calling. Damn, son!
He is calling.
I was gonna say, I can hear them.
He's roaring.
Eldon's gonna reach into his... He's gonna hand the memory vessel. Well, he's gonna hold it out and he's gonna start it.
Okay.
Tell me about Rickson.
So, do you ask while it's playing, or you let it play and then ask?
Shit, is there a pause function on it?
Yeah. Yeah, no. You can.
Every time you hit it, just starts over.
I just.
I like to think it's like a menu for like a DVD. It just like
Just loops.
just plays like a little 5-second.
Chapter 2.
It's a TikTok video, and you're just like, "Fuck it, hold on, dude, let me scroll past it to restart it, and go back."
So, just
What-
clarifying, if you're letting him watch it, and
I'll
then
hold up. Then instead of starting it, I'll hold it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll, And if all the pieces of the souls, all the drakes, can't be found?
I don't believe that that's how it works.
Even the ones that you've taken?
Taken.
And then he'll start it and it'll show Rickson.
Okay. Are you letting it play, or are you just showing
Yeah.
him a still? Okay. Zurich is quiet during the entirety of the playing of the memory. And when it's over, he looks to you and says, "What are your questions?"
Why and how did you strip the Drake from him?
Well, as stated, in Rickson's own memory, they were unclear about who stripped their Drake from them. How can you be sure it was us and not the Keepers?
I don't. But he does say that both of you have the power to do so.
Well, he was not wrong. But we do not hide that fact, unlike the Keepers, do we? We have the ability to do that, yes. You can sever the tie between a Drake and their sibling. I have not had it happen to me, clearly. But it is my understanding that it is one of the worst pains that someone can go through. And I have not seen anyone recover from it. How? Well, through the tapping of the weave and a specific ritual. Why? That depends on the circumstance.
Have the Liberators done such before?
Yes.
How many?
I would need to connect with Sarasha to get the exact number. I'll say as many as were needed. This has been a battle between the Keepers and the Liberators for quite some time. We are not the only ones with clever ways of obtaining information or getting people into the ranks where we need them. When there's sabotage, we must clear it out.
Thank you for being honest.
I have nothing to hide. This is the truth of it. We are fighting a war of sorts.
They're not... Do they have to die? The Keepers? You say a war. Is that what it'll come to?
We have been in the war.
If Vascan Veterix is released, then what happens to the Keepers?
I suppose it depends on what happens when Vascan Veterix is released. If he is made of the souls of all of the Drakes, then all of the Drakes will become Vascan Veterix, as they should be. The Keepers claim a right to his soul. Do you see? By separating him into the hundreds or thousands of pieces and not allowing them to come together, they are preventing him from ascending. They are making that decision for him, while proclaiming his name throughout the land as keepers of the Ur-Dragon. They are keeping him enchained. They are keeping him within the mountain. They are keeping him from his ascension. What right do they have to do that? Not only do they keep him chained, but when questions arise, they keep those answers from being shared. I find it disgusting that you could speak the name of your supposed god while knowing all the while that you have them entombed and are not allowing them to be free.
Keeping them entombed so you can continue to use their power for your own purpose.
Yes. Exactly.
I have a lot to think on.
You do. I understand. You're welcome here with your friends for as long as you need.
Thank you. Turn and walk out of whatever door everybody else did.
Zurich stays behind.
Now I get to play the, is this a phony text or whatever, what is that called? Scam text.
Oh.
Urgent, did you permit this amount of debit on this time at Walmart? Not you, visit blah, 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 blah. I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's a scam.
That's a scam.
yeah. But like I had an account at a Rockland Trust, so I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean?
It's a scam.
I'll just block it.
They'll call you.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you all are doing on this day? In general, or just kind of relaxing, reading?
Is there a spot where he can go fire some arrows from a spell?
Mhm.
Oh, find wherever that is.
They
Like a
have-
training area of kind, whether it's outdoors or indoors.
Yeah, they have a couple of them. They have an outdoor or indoor if you prefer. Like the woods, there's areas you can go, and one of them is able to like bring you out there, or a couple of the liberators.
Yeah, sure.
So you can fire off some arrows. They have additional like arrows that they can give you, more practice ones, so you're not using your own. We'll say Zerla actually brings you out there. It's a quiet walk down outside to a clearing that they have set up specifically for arrows and or like melee fighting and just kind of training in general. As you're walking down, she's a little shy, which is not the way that you knew her in her time. But as you get closer to the area, she stops for a moment. She looks at you. She actually puts her hand on your shoulder and says, Eldon, I just want you to know that I apologize for everything that happened when we were in Skyhome. I don't know, we were young and dumb, and I should have stood up for you more. And others. You know, just how siblings can be. But, you know, we're not really siblings. And I could have done a better job of being there for you and for the other people that weren't being treated well.
Well, don't worry about it. If we were different people then.
Yeah, we were. She keeps walking with you. So when did you know you were somebody special?
I wouldn't call it that,
I mean,
but I appreciate it. I knew things were a little different when I realized Theratrix wasn't a Drake.
was that right away?
It was pretty right away. took a while to get him, as you know. But yeah, I knew something was different about Theratrix right then and there. Probably when he hatched and he said, "Hi, my name's Theratrix."
Wow. He's very beautiful.
He is.
You're really lucky. And if I... This is going to sound weird, but I'm glad it's you. That's the second eye. Of all of the, kids that we grew up with, I think you can appreciate it more. The weight of the world. Never had a, big head. Maybe all the bullying kind of helps out with that.
Roll his eyes.
If you were the best in the class.
We've all apologized to that kid from high school who we just weren't sure how their mental stability. And sorry for teasing you. We're cool now, right?
Oh, so now you try to get out of that? So now I should thank you for not stopping bullies?
I mean...
He says that with an obvious, smile.
Yeah. Well, maybe I could be first in line for whatever it means to be besties with the second eye.
Sure. We'll see how it goes. Do you ever miss Skyhome? I know not the quiet and the secrecy and everything that we know, but it was beautiful.
Yeah. I miss everybody there. I miss that maybe false feeling that we were family. But I mostly miss Iskar. And now he's gone. So I guess I miss the lie. And not knowing it was one. But you can't live in ignorance forever. You can, but I can't.
We were all more innocent once.
Yeah. Are you going to release the dragon?
You gonna do the thing?
You know what I mean. She nudges you.
We'll see what happens. First, let's go release some arrows.
All right.
Sorry. I was keeping quiet that whole time.
She leads you over to the...
If you beat me, I'll let you pour me a drink at dinner. How's that?
You're killing me over here, dude.
She's like, all right, I'll take that.
Brave, what was it,
Zerla.
Zerla, the second eye's personal cupbearer that has a certain ring to it.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
You made the bet.
He's flirting with another woman.
I think that's
I'm
what
not
Julie.
there.
I think that's
I'm
what
not present for
that's
this.
what that noise is like. Julie cracking knuckles. But yeah, he's just gonna rag on her about that kind of thing, the whole rest of the walk. I see it now. We'll get you a little pin and everything.
She plays along, but not too much.
He's only giving her shit because she's so much taller, bigger, and
Oh, yeah.
stronger.
Half work.
She could be quiet.
Oh, funny boy. Is anybody else doing anything while this is occurring?
Isla's cleaning the closet.
Okay.
She's using Mage Hand to lift the shit bucket out and throw it over the edge of the mountain.
All right.
He doesn't have to breathe. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have to
I was like,
shit.
do dampiers even shit though? I don't think they actually shit.
I mean,
He has got to eat, so
He
It's
also
gotta
has,
come.
what is it that
He has prestidigitation, but I mean, at
He
the
just
same
shits
time,
his pants and magically makes
Pretty-
it go away.
That's what Harry Potter did.
He's just
pretty sure,
oh,
you
yeah.
know,
I think we had this
He shits his
conversation.
pants.
We have had the shit bucket conversation.
pretty sure you
right?
can hold it
We talked about
overnight.
When did Harry shit his
Potter.
pants? Will?
No, not Harry Potter, but J.K. Rowling said.
In her
Yeah.
lore, she said before Hogwarts installed plumbing, they would press
Yeah.
digitize
The shit out of
Well,
it.
that's
shit
like
away.
the equivalent of like when they would pour it out the window
Yeah.
and let it run down the street.
We've talked about
It's
this
not
before.
optimal. I don't think royalty would be.
Anybody
doing
watching,
it.
you can go back to whatever episode that was. where we went through the Harry Potter poop lore.
Well, she's cleaning out her closet. She's hanging up. She's burning some incense, getting it to smell normal again.
Yeah, because Kai's known for smelling so bad, right?
It's just, you know, when you let somebody like borrow, like sleep in your spare room, it's like it smells like them, and when
the other
they're
person
gone, it's
funk?
like now you're just like, all right, I need it to smell like me again.
I'll remove their funk and replace it with mine. Yes, absolutely.
What are the other ladies doing?
I think Ayla will probably be helping with the clean clean out.
It's
Chatting.
Watch out for the mage hand.
Chatting and cleaning. What about Kethra?
She's gonna kind of sneak off and see if she can find that person who knows all the shit. I can't
Oh,
remember their name.
Sarasha, the
Yeah.
lore keeper. Yeah.
Another one of you people. What?
Yep, she's in her office. You saw the other folks go in and out of there. Her like therapist office. You kind of knock on the door, and she's in there. She looks up.
Dr. Izzi.
She sends Nixon first.
She's like, "Oh, where did you come from? Who do you belong to?"
He goes meow and looks at
Oh,
the door, like over there. I was like, "Hi."
looks up, sees Kethra. Oh, hello. She stands up. How can I be of service?
I heard you're the person to ask if you have questions about things because you seem to know a lot of shit.
Oh, that is one of my titles. Knower of a lot of shit.
Good.
Please come, sit. I'm a good listener as well. You can close the door if you'd like.
And she'd be like, Nick's gonna slam the door for her. Thanks, bud.
Nice. She sits down.
Do I have your confidence?
Of course. I mean, I'm a lore keeper, so I do write things down, but typically they're
Just keep my name out of it.
absolutely. That I can do.
Great. Do you know anything about Squall's End? In Devenia?
Is it a location?
Yes. It's also a cult.
One moment. She goes and starts searching through her book stack.
She pulls out her own Gaia.
Gaia.
Picture it's like
Tell
a
me
little
about
little
skulls
Rolodex to kind of like.
Yeah. Under cults.
All right, let me find my D100. Here we go. You say it's a cult, and it's located where? Devenia. I recognize your.
My pallor gave me away, huh?
That and the accent, yes. She pulls out a tome. It's like Eporian histories and whatnot. She starts shuffling through it. Can you tell me a little bit more about it so I can see if I have anything written down?
Not really, but I will.
Where is it located? How is it? You say it's a cult. How big of a cult? What do they worship?
Raycast.
Is that a deity?
It's my father.
Oh. She starts shuffling through, flipping pages, like looking down, but then looking up and kind of making eye contact with you as she's going. And this cult, what do they believe exactly?
The most fucked up shit you could ever think of.
As cults do.
But he's up to something.
She shifts through. And then you see her stop on one page and she starts dragging her finger across, going down. She flips again, another one. And she says, this book has villages, town names, and she's just shuffling. Are there a lot of people in this village?
A lot. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't have much on us.
There's always a chance.
We can't find anything on that. Would you be able to look into ship logs by any chance?
Well, I guess it depends. Are you asking me about the deadly fedora?
Yes.
Your friend came by yesterday, asking the same. I can at least tell you that the ship, it was heard to have run aground northwest of here, further into the meadows, not to the south of the mountain range that separates the meadows from Eporia, and that there is a trail leading away, but all of the goods were found on the ship, or the majority of. The crew is gone.
How did they describe the trail leading away from the ship?
Footprints and a rot trail.
You don't happen to have a passenger manifest, do you?
Let me see. She puts her Eporian book down and then starts shifting through all of her books until she finds another one. She says, we do keep logs of the different ships that as we were tracking the second eye. I'm not sure if you've seen in the harbor master's quarters or offices, they have oftentimes these handy quills that are writing everything down. We may or may not have some friends that work in the different harbor masters.
Some good friends.
Yep, indeed. She's up here. Then she opens up the page, and there's the Deadly Fedora roster.
May I see that?
There you go. She turns the book towards you and can see all of the names.
And she's going to look for Felicia's name.
You see it.
Here go, you fucking slut.
It's like,
Not you.
oh,
Not you.
I mean, I
Sorry.
assumed it wasn't me. Don't really know me, so be kind of
I knew it.
someone you know.
Unfortunately, yes.
Confirmed.
Yes.
I'm sorry for your loss. There's almost no way that the crew of that ship has made it out in the meadows, wherever they were headed. You think back to your home?
She's gonna go. Thanks for all the information. But this one made it. And I can't tell you how I know that.
Well, is that a good thing? Given you called her a slut? It could go either way. Sometimes when people are really good friends.
No, I have every intention of killing her the next time I see her.
All right.
She's responsible for a lot of things.
Well, may you find her, and may her death be as long or as short as you desire.
I haven't decided which one yet, but thank you.
Of course.
I appreciate your time. I'm just gonna get up and leave, because no social skills.
Bye.
This woman's gonna turn to her spy network and be like, we need to research this deadly fedora because it's come up twice in the last 12 hours.
What's that bitch? Sorry. It's amazing how much you can hate an NPC.
All right. Day 2. My cheek muscle is spasming. There's too much smiling going on. The second day, you are treated as part of the Liberators. Anything you want to do, going to the runesmith and chatting. There are things for trade, not necessarily for sale, unless you want to give some gold, because it will help them when they go shopping out in the cities and whatnot, or when they send their infiltrators out into either the keepers or the cities. But we can do the shopping offline. That night, you are all welcomed to another meal. Any scenes before bed?
Eldon during dinner and all that is just a lot more subdued. Like, he's not drinking and just not, like, as outwardly having as much fun. He's clearly just thinking a lot.
Is every dinner like that first night?
No, I mean, there's a little bit of... Some folks you can tell that are part of the Liberators, they're just like dancing and playing music. So there's a little bit of that, but it's not like a welcome dinner. It's just regular group dinner, 60, 70 something people all enjoying each other's company. At one point, you do see somebody come over to Zuruk, who's, laughing and having a good time with his fellow Liberators. Comes over, one of the scouts you recognize, whispers something in his ear. And his face gets a little stern for a moment, but then he looks at the person, thanks them, and then goes back to doing his thing. But it's another calm night.
Kai wanted to speak with Kethra.
Okay.
Can I have a word?
Yeah, what about?
In private.
Oh, so it's serious and shit, huh?
Sure.
All right, let's go. Kethra, you can always... She's a little bit more irritated than normal.
I've been doing some thinking.
I'm not going to say it. That was a stretch, wasn't it? Sorry, you caught me on a rough day, Kai. Sorry. What have you been thinking about?
After speaking with a few, more specifically the Lore Master, I've been trying to ignore my heritage, both who I am and what I am. It seems no matter where we go, people already know who I am. And I've been trying to keep myself shielded. But I know that we are getting closer to a place you're trying to get away from. A place that you would rather those there not know you are nearby.
I'm sure you can understand that, how that feels.
And I've never felt this. But I don't want anything to happen to you. And I want you to feel safe. That's why I want you to take this.
And he's gonna take the brooch off of his jacket.
This will stop someone from being able to magically locate you.
Don't you think you need that?
Anyone who would be looking for me already knows I'm alive. And if these people here were able to track me, they certainly can. Will you
Maybe
take
I
it?
want them to find me. I don't want to go home. I don't. But I don't fear them anymore. I think it's best you hang on to that. But I appreciate it, Kai. I do. I spent too much time running already. If they want to find me, they will find me. And there's a part of me that welcomes that day. Because then it will finally be over. One way or another. I can't run anymore. They find me, they find me.
I respect that.
Thanks.
I meant what I said. I am trying to not be so impulsive. But in these last 2 days, everything that I thought I knew has been turned upside down. Can I ask you
For what?
to try and use your sight on me?
Sure.
Let me pull it up.
Trying to hold that in. I'm like, don't sneeze while they're talking. Don't sneeze while they're talking.
Let it out, dude. Don't let it in. You want to give yourself a name. You want to give yourself like something pops in your brain or something. All right. Chosen family. I gotta get a 12.
It's on one.
Gotta roll a 12. 13.
All right. What does it look like as you?
You guys aren't doing this at the table, are you?
No, I asked to
Oh, okay.
speak to her privately.
God, I hate being so tired because I can't remember what happened that cool time with Maven and Skira. It was so much cooler than like my eyes just going black. Remember? Wait time. That whole like kind of like the because it all looks fucking creepy when I just do that. God, I need to sleep.
So she, like, you held on and looked directly in the eyes, and maybe your eyes go dark, but around you in whatever room you were in kind of darkens as well, and it almost looks like there's twinkling stars in the room, as more easily than has happened in the past, where you've always had to kind of push through the connection with Kai. It's just an easy transition into his mind. And from your lips, you hear, the past and present will become one, and the future will be revealed through the eyes of the reborn. It's a simple phrase that escapes your lips. But Kai, it means more to you. The past and present will become one, and the future will be revealed through the eyes of the reborn.
By the look on your face, that means something to you?
Let's just say, I don't think it's an accident. I am the way I am.
What exactly do you mean by that?
I believe I am here because it's what the Raven Queen wanted. I believe either part of me or all of me was once Dagon.
Whoa. I don't really know what to say to that. Are
It's
you
a lot.
okay?
Honestly, I don't think I've ever been okay.
That was kind of a loaded question. Sorry.
But there's still more. There's still more I have to do. I have to find out.
What's next?
There was talk, or rather rumor, that I found in those manuscripts of a silvered-haired person that my mother was seen meeting. And all I can think of is one of the visions the Raven Queen showed me. Her and Loris talking. I think I have to find him.
Loris? What do you think he knows?
I think he knows the truth. Something that rumor and happenstance, I think he might know the actual truth.
Then I'll help you find him.
I don't even know where to begin, but just like everything else, since we've all come together, I can't ignore it any longer.
There's no use to run from things. It finds you anyway.
Exactly. I feel as though I already know him. When I have the visions, it's not just seeing it, but
Feeling it?
I could feel how Dagon felt for him. He trusted him. He believed in him. And if the Raven Queen went to him for help, it means she trusted him as much as Dagon did.
And you're hoping now he's someone you can trust.
I feel like I already do. I think Dagon died trying to help Loris.
I guess we need to find Loris.
I don't think it'll be easy. I don't think it'll be quick.
Nothing ever is.
Nothing worthwhile ever is.
No.
But I think that's what I need to do. I don't know where that will bring us, but I can't see it not being dangerous.
I'm not afraid of a little danger, Kai.
I think we all know that by now.
We'll find Loris.
Can you tell me again about the night we met?
Again?
fade to black.
She's like, again?
That night, the two of you, among other things, pore over the notes. More of the notes from Drenvor. You get to notes on factions and vampiric presence. There's no date to this. It says Devenia, a region notoriously rumored to harbor vampire havens. Locals dismiss or deny, but many quietly believe in a vampire problem. In Medea, they more openly acknowledge vampiric history, albeit not with acceptance. Reports indicate entire settlements of vampires living beneath or alongside mortal society. In Dre Stella and Aprana, there's less direct evidence, but watchers in both states speak of enclaves that might shelter the undead. There's multiple sources that claim that there are rivalries among the vampire factions, with some loyal to ancient bloodlines and others that align with new leaders. You see the note about Azura, who you'd seen a couple times that name as the vampire that attacked your family the night you were born. You also find a name Samael, and it appears, at least from the rumors and notes, that this Samael took the place of Azura. That Azura was some leader of some kind, very strong, and that upon their death on the night of the royal eclipse, a new vampire took their place. The legend as well, when Drenvor has done interviews amongst people in all of those places, Devenia, Medea, there's a legend of the Dawn's Light. And a few things hold true in all of the different renditions of this person, is that they were an immortal champion of the Raven Queen who hunted vampires and liches and all undead for centuries, that they fell from the goddess's favor after growing too close to a vampire, that he lost his immortality and he died an old man on a final quest to cure vampirism. And then some say that he drove his rapier bloodletter into a crystal within a cave system, and that vampires guard it, unable to destroy the sword, the blade. So as you spend time together that evening, any other scenes? The morning comes. Eldon, you're awakened by Zuruk, who actually is gently, like, shaking your shoulder, awake.
Orc gently.
Smile on his face as your eyes open. Apologies to awaken you this early. We have visitors. The keepers would like a word with you. They were able to track you this far, as we assumed they would. They cannot enter our space. They have not brought enough people, but I think it's only fair. I can bring you to the bridge. They spoke with us yesterday. I did not want to ruin the evening. We agreed that if you agreed, we could meet them there, them on the other side, you on ours. And you can speak. I don't trust them, not entirely. But you must make the choice. I cannot force you. So when you are ready, you're free to bring your companions.
Thank you for giving me the choice.
We'll be ready for you.
Dude, this is like when your parents show up at the party that you're at that you were told not to go to. When she said the keepers are here, I'm like, the fuck? Am I here? Dump the booze, dump the booze.
As you all get ready,
Stress eating. Yeah.
Stress eating.
What are you doing here?
As you all get ready for the day, heading out into kind of that communal area where everyone is, there's a lot of murmuring and everyone's kind of talking to each other. There's a band of liberators that you can see Zuruk has gathered together with their drakes. And Zuruk says to all of them, the keepers are here. The second eye is our guest, and they would like to speak with him. We will do all we can to protect him from any wayward arrows. But it is his choice, ultimately. Are you ready?
What the fuck is going on?
In military terms, we would call this a parley. Words before swords.
Why the... I should have stayed in bed.
Do we have to?
I have to.
I think we should be there to support him.
Oh, no, I mean, do
we're
you have
going to go, yes, but
Yeah.
I mean,
wasn't saying-
shouldn't they have been stopped at the pass?
Where are they here?
Of course we're gonna go.
Obviously, I'm saying, do you have to? Does anyone have to? Why? Can we just tell them you're not home?
They were able to track me this far.
Did my trap not slow? They should have been slowed down.
They sent the master of the hunt. There was... I told you not to bother.
The liberators knew who we each were before we arrived. There's no going under the radar. People are watching us.
I don't like that.
I would say get used to it.
Or we need to get sneakier.
I like the thought that Iolite says that while still eating breakfast.
Just like go and she's like,
Like just walking
What
with
the
a
fuck?
plate. Like, what are we doing?
You gather together. Zuruk nods at all of you, and you head out, not the same way that you came, but out actually the side of the mountain, one of the mountain exits, and then they lead you through the greenery and the stone and rock, little side cutouts in the mountain.
They don't have to go through the lava pit.
I was just going to say, like,
with the little
I was going to say it's that like
gremlins.
classic. You're trying to climb over the wall, and everyone's like,
there's a door.
door.
It takes a little while, a couple of hours, to finally get to your destination. And as you get closer, Zuruk does turn to you, Eldon, and says, how we will approach this. Much like when you came through, all of you, and the mist rolls in, we will ensure that there is a direct line of sight across the bridge. We have scouts with us, as will they. And we will make sure that you are safe. Pyrothorin will not let anything happen to you, or Theratrix.
Thank you.
But you will communicate across the bridge.
I'm sorry to have brought them this close to your front door.
It was to be expected. You are the second eye.
Ayla gently punches you in the shoulder and she says, show them what the best eye can do.
That -1 strength.
And as described, you approach the bridge. I'm gonna switch to this music.
Like the idea of we're all trying to look as tough as possible, but like it's totally not gonna work for Ayla.
Well, not just that, but we're all like, yeah, we're tough. And they're over there going like, oh, God. But they're not looking at us being tough.
They're
It's a
sitting there like a
giant
dragon.
Pyrothorin dragon. Yeah.
I think we're making them nervous.
They totally find us intimidating.
Yeah.
You get to the bridge where you all once stood and had to fight all of those creatures. And the mist has rolled in. You can't at the moment see across the bridge, but Zuruk clears the area that you are in. Just there's liberators around that are helping with their gusts of wind and whatnot that cleared away. Zuruk looks at you, goes over to you, Eldon, and 2 hands on your shoulders, looking down at you. He's got long dark hair that has streaks of gray and white in it, and it is braided on either side. He has his keeper / liberator outfit, ceremonial kind of clothing on. His hair has iron bars in it weighing it down. He looks very strong, but not imposing or intimidating necessarily. And he just says, "We will all be here. Right beside you, right behind you."
Thank you. Weirdly, Eldon isn't afraid.
Nice.
He's not afraid in that moment.
Theratrix comes up beside Eldon and doesn't say anything, but just kind of stands up as tall as you are in a way. And Zuruk pats him on the head, and then they step aside. And as you head over to the edge of the cliff and the front or the beginning of that rickety bridge that goes across, nod back to him. He clears away, and as he does so, you hear him. It's not quite a yell out. Thaumaturgy is an easy thing, cantrip for you, the folks here. So his voice kind of booms across and says, "Eldon Strackhaven is here." And as he does so, the bridge all the way across that 60 feet clears away. You see the mist separate as if it was, water being separated across a chasm. And across the way, you recognize the warden of pursuit, the master of the hunt, who is standing at the bridge, and he kind of tilts his head a little bit, looking at you, and then you see him step back and away. And taking his place is your father.
Your parents did come to the party.
You are past your curfew, and he is here to
Young man crossed this bridge right now. I heard you were drinking alcohol.
What?
Daddy showed up.
Dad's here.
His belt's off. He's just like,
Boy.
Give me real life flashbacks, man. I got like PTSD. Like, Papa, no.
Yeah, right?
you weren't afraid. You afraid now, motherfucker.
I was afraid when Daddy showed up.
All you can see as the master, the warden of pursuit, steps out back into kind of the mist is just your father. What does your father look like?
He is a tall, stern-looking man. I believe I have him written down as having blue eyes and kind of like that same sandy blonde hair that Eldon does.
Your father...
No, he's stone merchant.
Stone merchant, that's right.
in his stern tone, he's wearing his best clothing, you notice. And he's just looking at you 60 feet away. You can't quite see the blue of his eyes from that far, but he's got that same look. And his voice is loud in your ears, but he's not yelling. it is clear that he's having his voice amplified. And he says, Eldon, I won't pretend I've always understood your choices, but this... And he looks past you can tell, as while you're standing on the edge and the only people that you can see there's other shadows in the mist, but the people behind you, Zurich and Pyrathorin, are just on the edge of what would be his vision. They're not, and your friends are not hidden in the mist.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I was trying to look at the file that I had him in, and of course I can't find it.
It's always the case. It's like when you need it, you can't. It never pulls up.
Made this character like 2 years ago. He's finally become relevant. Like,
The Keepers gave you a place. They gave you a purpose. And now? You're walking away from all of it to follow a myth? Come here. Come home. Come back to the Keepers.
And what do you know of this myth of home, of the Keepers? You never once came and saw me. And you've looked at me with nothing but disdain.
That's not true.
Is
I
it?
always wanted you to succeed. And look where you are.
And where am I?
You are standing here before me, strong, successful. You have your... He hesitates for a minute. Your drake. Your egg has hatched. I see that now.
I am strong. And I'm capable. And I do have an egg that hatched into a dragon. But it wasn't because of the Keepers. And it wasn't because of you.
Your family name carries weight, Eldon. Whatever you choose to do, it will affect us. Your brother, your sister, your mother. He looks to the side.
Mother's here?
You see your mother steps out and stands next to your father, Brenson. She looks very worried, where Brenson's tone and demeanor is very rigid and stern. She is, as she always has been, very warm, but worried. And she stands beside your father and holds onto his arm. And she looks like she's on the verge of tears. And she says, "My sweet boy, I've always known that you were destined for something great, but I never imagined that it would be this dangerous. Come back. I don't know what they've told you, but you can come back." She lets go of your father and her arms are out across the bridge. "I don't need you to be a hero, Ellie. I just need you to be safe. I need you to come home."
Is it just them two there? Or
can
the
see-
other Keepers?
You can see that there are other people in the mist, but they've kind of intentionally stayed out of your vision. You can't make out, other than the warden who you saw, there's no one else that you can see.
They have to dramatically introduce the other family members. Your uncle, your cousins,
Your brother.
your niece.
He has a degree yet? All right.
Your
We got
third cousin.
Steve, I guess.
Your father's brother's former roommate.
Eldon, we
been a while.
once had pie together in a cafe.
Come on, boy, don't be
Don't
an idiot.
throw away your life.
You just see it, mother's crying. Come on.
When his mother does see that, he takes like a step forward towards the bridge and puts a hand on, like I guess you would say like the post.
Mm-hmm.
It's been so long since I've seen you.
I know. I'm sorry. It's very difficult to get to Skyhome from home.
I know. He's like looking back and forth between his father and his mother. His eyes will stay on his mother. I'm not trying to be a hero. That's not why I'm doing this. And you always knew that there was something different. You told me.
Yes?
That there was something special. And that I was meant for great things. I think this is one of those great things. And I've seen so much since meeting my friends. I've done and seen unimaginably amazing things. Good and bad. But I think this is something that I need to do.
She steps forward and touches, like, mirrors your stance where she's touching the pole and looks like she wants to, like, run across this bridge. And she says, but what if they're wrong? What if this path brings nothing but pain? Your brother and sister miss you. I miss you. Your father misses you. Come home with us. Come back with us before it is too late.
The path I was on with the Keepers, that was a path of pain. I didn't know it. It's like a quiet, dull loneliness. I don't think I can go back.
I think this is wrong. I know that your friends mean well, and the Liberators, they mean well. I can see it in your eyes, but they're asking too much of you. Is this what you really want?
What is it that you think they're asking of me, Mother?
To destroy yourself.
He's gonna look over at Zurich.
Zurich stands.
Does like his face betray anything?
Make an insight check.
Is this the first roll? Did somebody?
Yeah, right.
The first roll in a while. 12.
Okay. Zurich's face, he's not smiling as has been his signature expression. He is serious and he looks at you. You see no wavering muscle movement, no change or shift. As you turn, you can tell wherever he was looking before, whether it was at them or at the back of your head, when you turn to look at him, he makes eye contact with you. He is standing with his hands like kind of clasped together, but in front of him, down, as if he's standing respectfully at a service or something along those lines. He does not, his eye contact with you does not waver. He doesn't blink even when that's said. When you turn to look, You hear your father's voice again ring out, and he says, "Do you really believe the keepers have been wrong all this time? That you know better than generations of wisdom?" You are my son. I don't want to see you throw away your life chasing these fairy tales, chasing this myth.
I can't go back.
Do you say this looking at Zurich or looking at them?
Looking at him, Brenson, his father. Like, when he says that, he's saying it directly to Brenson, as if he's almost not even referencing the keepers in that statement. He's referencing him as his father and him as his son. He can't go back to the way he felt when his father used to look at him. And if I were to go back with the keepers, what? What then? What changes?
You see tears start streaming down your mother's face. And Brenson looks off to the side where the others are, off to the right, where clearly the rest of the keepers are. And then he looks back to you. You would be back with who you belong, with your family. Your successes would still be yours, at the risk of no one else. With this power, if you believe that's what you have, comes consequences. Are you ready to pay that price? And your mother has just kind of gone back and forth looking at your father, then back at you. Her expression has not changed. It's still that pleading, whatever he's saying. You're not sure if she's even listening exactly. She's just trying with her expression to get you to come over the bridge.
Am I willing to pay the price? To do the right thing? Yes.
You see Donla. She starts openly weeping at that point, and she's just grabbing onto the pole of the bridge, and her eyes almost get a little panicked as you say that, and she looks back at Brenson and then to you, and then she looks off into the mist, and she says, "Please, just give us a little bit more time." Not to you, but to whoever's out in the mist there. And just as she says that, you see the Warden of Pursuit steps out of the mist, bow and arrow already drawn, and lets loose at you. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Is he a dragonborn? Or a lizard folk or whatever?
No, he's a dwarf.
Oh.
It happens so quickly. He is
12 plus 7.
the master of the hunt.
Actually,
All right.
I think it's 12 plus 8. 12 plus 8.
Okay.
That's
a dirty 20. Okay. The arrow.
Remember that it was that it was more than this. That was wrong this time. I'm learning.
Slow motion as the master of the hunt steps out. Brenson steps out of the way, but your mother doesn't.
So
And
Branson steps out of the way as if he had known, or he saw
Yes.
this was coming.
your mother does not step out of the way. He lets the arrow loose. It flies past her head. You can see her hair like in the direction of the arrow towards you as it zips past directly at your face. If it was a split second faster, it would have gotten you right between the eyes. But what instead happens is the wing of Pyrothorin, you standing there looking at your mom, the tears streaming down her face, the wing suddenly blocks your whole body. And you see the arrow like stick in, and the head of that arrow is on the other side of the wing. And then all hell breaks loose.
I love hell.
So then we all started blasting.
Then I started blasting.
Can we all blast now?
I think so. The music tells me.
The music says
perhaps we
blast.
can. Oh my god.
You're popping those like they're gonna calm you down.
I know.
What's in those Altoids?
For the reason this makes me think of the TikTok. Which one of you motherfuckers snitched on me to my mom? What?
I'm going for your left too, and I'm shit.
So, Zuruk rushes forward, grabs you, Eldon, and he says, "We have to do this now." And you begin to see arrows, like, kind of flying through, and you hear your mother yelling across the bridge.
My baby.
She's no longer, like, her voice isn't being amplified by thaumaturgy. She's just screaming. She's screaming, "No, no!" And she's just, like, yelling across. And she's yelling your name. Ellie, Eldon, she's just screaming.
Has the fog like closed in?
You start seeing, yes, the fog is closing in, but arrows are flying. The liberators on your side are shooting back. I'm going to have all the rest of you who are not protected by Pyrothorin's wing go ahead and make dexterity saving throws.
Oh Christ!
There
feel
are
bad.
several arrows.
Oh fuck.
coming.
You haven't used your thing yet, right?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Shield.
You throw your shield up. You can go ahead and mark that down. But there are arrows coming from all over. So as you block one, another one comes shooting past, just scrapes past. You take 8 points of piercing damage.
16.
You take 4 points of piercing damage as they're just all coming through.
4.
Nicking 8 points, and then when Julie gets back, Zuruk grabs your wrist and is like, "We must do this now. Are you ready?"
when he says this, does he mean fight? Or
No,
does he-
he's turning. Actually, that's a good clarification. He has grabbed your wrist and is turning you back away from this bridge and to lead you into the Molten Roost.
Can I do something while we're making a retreat?
Yes, but after he makes a decision.
Oh, okay, make your decision.
Yes. He's like really.
You're somewhere else.
Well, yeah, but because like his mother's on the other side screaming now for him, and that like kind of messed him up a little bit, which makes perfect sense since I'm on the bottom of initiative. That he's like almost like that shell.
Okay. Yeah, we'll
But-
start with. Oh, go ahead. Did you want to say?
He says like, yeah, like okay.
Okay.
Can we all like see each other, or is the fog too like thick?
So where you were standing, you could see each other right
Okay,
now. So
just
you
not the other side.
Yeah, you can't see the other side. Now you can tell the other liberators have come forward, the other scouts, and are kind of like pushing you out of the way. Zuruk looks at, as he grabs Eldon and says, "You can stay and fight, or you can come with us." And then he starts leading Eldon back into the roost. I'll have you make a dexterity saving throw to see how many points you take of damage as the arrows are flying in your direction.
16.
Okay, 4 points of piercing.
I was like,
All right.
I could not hold it anymore.
Oh, no, you're
so
fine.
I was like, I'm going to pee my pants.
Ayla, you had something you wanted to do?
falling back, right? Is that
If
what
you
we're
choose.
doing?
So that's what Zurich is basically kind of. The Liberator scouts have moved forward, and you can tell like things are flying, but they've covered this area to make it more difficult for the keepers on the other side and the
So,
family members.
I mean, what are you doing?
He's going back. He's getting pulled, or allowing himself to be pulled
Okay.
by Zurich.
So then I'm going to assume that we are going to follow him, fall back. So I am going to swear, because that fucking arrow hurt, and then I'm casting darkness on the bridge. So
Okay.
it's
Okay.
Doesn't make that noise. Blurp.
All right. Is that a concentration spell or it stays?
it is a concentration spell.
Okay. So you all begin rushing back into the Molten Roost. As that is happening, you start to see keepers from the other side who have mounted on flying drakes and are coming through, and there starts to be fighting between the Liberators and the keepers at the bridge. As you kind of disappear into the Eldon, all you can hear is your mother screaming in the back.
Joy. That's like the last thing before that darkness overtakes. Like the darkness.
Before
Before the
you see your mom.
Yeah, no, like he just like that's what he sees. Like he just sees her like holding onto that like the post, screaming, crying.
If it makes you feel any better, Kai can still see her.
She's still crying.
Still screaming.
You rush through past passageways and into passageways that bring you around the magma pool. You know what I'm going to say, actually, before that. As you are disappearing into Eldon, you just happen to look up. Almost like you're just resolving to everything that's happening and trying to drown out the sound of your mother. And you see, just as you dip yourself into the tunnel, an old woman standing up on the top of one of the rocks.
Yeah, exactly. How I
Eating
imagine this.
popcorn.
Yeah, like she's got a teacup in her hand, and she just takes a sip, and you can't even react. There's just more of like a little smirk on her face as you dash into. The others do not see.
Can she do a Lucille Bluth wink?
She takes a bite of a piece of toast. You are led through the tunnels. Zurich begins yelling to any other liberators that pass by. He says, "Go! We must protect the second eye." And they run. And Zurich leads you deeper past the gathering of space.
Is Theratrix still out there with Pyrothorn, or did he come with us?
No, Theratrix and Pyrothorn both come with you.
Oh, okay.
So you head into. You can hear and see like a couple of arrows that have hit Pyrothorn, but he hasn't reacted really. He's just like. You would expect, it's almost strange to not feel the ground shaking as he's stepping after all of you while you run. But they lead you through these large tunnels winding down. Zurich is breathing heavily. There's like any expression on his face, he is very determined in this moment. Whenever you look up at him and he looks down to you or back to you, there's a little smile on his face, but more of just, seriousness of the moment. You see it kind of spiraling this passageway down. It begins to get warmer through this core of the Molten Roost. You can start to feel this heat that's growing more intense, and the air starts to get very thick and hot and suffocating. I'm going to have everybody except for Ayla who's starting to get impacted by this heat. Make a Constitution saving throw. Or you can do it with advantage, actually. You have your cloak with you. What does it do? It makes you immune
It makes
or resistant?
it makes any
Yeah, I forgot we had that.
outside
I'm really
temperature like comfortable.
Oh, okay.
Like
So you don't have to roll. You're fine.
I don't want to be sweaty. That's what's inspiring me.
Kai's gonna grit down.
Much better.
Squeezing each other's hands.
Cloak protects the wearer from any
Yeah, you guys
temperature
are
and
used to
weather
feeling each other's
effects.
hands all sweaty.
So I'd have to like,
Oh!
That's 16.
Sex joke.
Okay. You're okay. You're
Not
okay
a
for now.
particularly good one, but
All right, you're all right.
13 plus 2, 15.
For now. Okay, you're good.
13 plus 3 for 16.
Okay. You all begin to feel it becoming harder to like breathe. It's getting warm, but you're able to hold it together as he leads you down. You begin to see a glow ahead that's like pulsing like a heartbeat as you round the corner. And finally, this passage opens up to the heart of the Molten Roost. There's a huge, immense chamber, like a cavern that has been carved from the very bones of the mountain. You can see the magma veins that had been throughout the Molten Roost that are snaking along the walls. They're pulsating with this radiant molten glow, again, as if this is where the life of the mountain centers. There's this massive pool of liquid fire that's churning and roiling, and you can see that all of these magma veins like lead to this spot. And there's heat rising here to the point where there's distortion in the air. Everything is kind of shimmering as if it's caught in like a fever dream. You stop, and this heat is coming at you. I'm going to have everybody except for Ayla roll another Constitution saving throw. Pyrothorin and Theratrix begin to circle the perimeter of this chamber. There's a long ledge that's leading out from the side for walking along. You can see that as they go along here, kind of going up along the sides of the walls, they start to pulse as well. What did everybody get?
9.
Okay.
6.
15.
19 total.
Okay. Iolite and Kethra. Jesus. I was picturing you and saying Iolite, and then I'm like, oh my god, who's...
What's her name?
You take a point of exhaustion as you are
The
struggling.
look on your face. Oh.
Damage.
Just got rid of one. It's alright. Could be worse, could be worse.
Zurich turns to you, Eldon, and says, this is where it must happen. This is where the eyes open and the soul of Vascan Veterix awakens. And he steps towards the edge of this molten pool and then turns to you and says, are you ready, brother?
Closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. And looks at all of his friends. Yes, I'm ready.
Then we begin. You both step forward. And as you do, the heat lashes out as if it was a living thing. And it coils around you, and the air begins to sear your lungs and makes your skin prickle as though it's being touched by unseen flames. You see Zurich raises his hands and he says, heat, fire, life. And the molten pool flares up, and there's this pillar of flame that erupts from the center and spirals upward as the heart surges around you, and you are caught in it. The roar of it is deafening, and yet you, as you ascend, hear something deeper. You hear whispers. Countless voices, distant and ancient, the souls of drakes long past, their spirits lingering at the edge of the weave. Their presence is suffocating, but not hostile. They wait. Witnesses! Zurich breathes. You can barely hear him over the fury of the heat around you. This wave of searing heat washes over you, and the fire engulfs both of you. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Shit, that was a nat 1.
Oh no!
No!
I do have my thing.
You also
which
have
I'm gonna
inspiration,
use.
too.
Yes, I know. I'm going to use that next if this one doesn't work. I'm going to cash in my little thingy.
Okay. How are you inspired?
You don't want to burn to death? Yeah.
I mean, this is it.
This is it. This is your moment.
He has to do this. He knows he has to do this. He doesn't know what's going to happen with the people up top. He doesn't know what's going to happen if he fails this. His friends are down here. This is his moment. He has to do this.
Zurich looks at you as if waiting for you to say something. As if it's your turn to speak.
Was I supposed to know this?
He's waiting for you to say it's not a nat 1.
It's not a nat 1! Izzy, why would you do this to me right now?
It's your backstory. So it's your backstory.
So you
What
did
would-
this to yourself.
What would Eldon say in this moment as fire is wrapping around his body, the voices of the drakes witnessing this moment, and Zurich?
He would say, I wish to see. Let me see the truth. Let me see the way. Let's hope this works. Otherwise, I'm going to probably end up getting melted. Oh, that was 19 plus 2. That's much better.
I would have gone by the power of Grayskull, but sure, that works too.
What was that?
I would have gone by the power of Grayskull, but
yeah.
that works too.
You take 4 points of
Okay, that's not so bad.
damage as you say these words, and you can feel the heat enter your lungs. Zurich says, "The eyes must see. The eyes must judge." Suddenly, you see other elements that burst to life in the chamber. That's the rest of you standing there, kind of. Constitution saves from everybody, actually, as you're standing here. All
Can
this
I
heat.
pull Iolite like under my cloak if I see she's struggling?
No, that's not how that works.
Damn.
That one. Same.
Oh no! 2 nat 1s? Oh god.
Ones, huh?
No.
Okay.
Oh god.
That's true.
It's all falling apart. If you rolled a nat 1, I was gonna fucking. I was gonna literally pick up your dice.
I was gonna
tray and
say,
like, nope.
We are in a
pick up a
magma
pencil
chamber. I mean, it
and
kind of tracks.
Yeah, you're in a place that's very hot. Another point of exhaustion for Iolite. For Kethra, you both take 7 points of fire damage. Ayla,
Can I use my reaction to cast Absorb Elements?
absorb elements. What does it say?
When you take acid, cold, fire, lightning, or damage, spell capture some of the incoming energy, lessening its effect on you and storing it for your next melee attack.
I will say yes. This isn't a spell, but you can take some of that energy. So you'll take 3 points
I'll take that.
of fire damage, and you have some of the fire with you.
Sounds good to me. I'll take that.
16?
You are still okay.
I know I got real nervous too when I saw the 1 ranking was a 10.
Your lack of needing to breathe has been helping you so far, although the heat is getting harder to bear.
He is wearing a leather jacket.
Not taking it off either.
Nope.
While this is all happening, man, my cheek is really going to town. You see other elements that are bursting to life along the chamber. You see frost that begins creeping out along the stone. It's hissing and crackling as it's meeting the heat. You also see lightning that begins arcing through the air. What you are seeing in front of you is this like spiraling, almost like firestorm. Eldon and Zuruk are floating in the center of it. They've been pulled in and are surrounded. The lightning is arcing through the air. It's striking down into the molten pool and across. You also begin to see this poisonous mist that starts to enter from the sides, like burning the edges. You step back away, and acidic vapors that start coming up. All of these different elements of the drakes. You can tell here, Eldon, as you look out amongst the swirling fire and wind, that you get this sense that these draconic spirits are no longer being silent. They are awakening. And Zuruk, you hear him say, while looking you directly in the eyes, "The womb opens. The sacrifice begins." As you all stand there, you notice like a few of the other liberators had rushed down. There are some scouts that come around the corner while this is all developing in front of you. Their drakes are there with them. And you feel this kind of horrifying, wrenching sensation that rips through this chamber. Every one of you feels it, although for you it passes through. But when you look to the side and see these liberators, you can tell the humanoids who are there, who are standing there, it's almost like they get pulled forward, and the drakes with them as well. They stop themselves, those on 2 feet. You hear Pyrothorin and Theratrix, they start crying out, this like roar together. It's mingling with what you hear to be the countless roars of drakes all around. You see the few liberators that are with you, they like clutch their hearts and go down on their knees, and then they look to their drakes who do not resist what is happening. As one by one, you start to see the drakes begin to dissolve in place. And as they dissolve, they then get pulled into this maelstrom of fire that is in the center of the room. And you start to see the embers that are coming through the walls and down through this opening that is in this chamber from the sky. And it begins to just coalesce with the elements that are converging around the heart. And you feel, Eldon, while you were watching these other liberators, kind of like your little slight panic. Zuruk looks very steadfast and strong. He has been doing this and waiting for this moment for so long. And you look down and see these liberators who are clutching their chest and staring up at you and almost like crying and yelling. The rest of you, you don't know what they're feeling, but you can tell it's painful. You see that as you hear Theratrix roaring and Pyrothorin on the other side, they're on either side, they remain. I need you to make another Constitution saving throw.
17.
17. Take 5 points of damage. Zuruk grabs onto your shoulders and he says, The ascension. The ascension is happening, brother. Don't fear for them. This is what they wanted. You feel this energy within the heart. It reaches a crescendo. And underneath, the ground starts to like rumble and it starts to crack. Everybody except for Eldon makes a dexterity saving throw. The Liberators on the ground are also trying to move. 20 and a 19. All right. They are able to pull themselves out of the way.
5.
5,
19.
19,
8.
8,
10.
10. Cool.
Get
All
my
right.
friends killed.
It's your destiny or whatever, I guess.
There had to be sacrifices.
As you
Can't make it
stand
on without
here,
breaking a couple items.
Fuck them, it's my destiny.
you stand here. The ground is cracking and little splashes of the molten rock. And I can't find another D10, so I'm just going to do it live. 11 points of damage. What did you get?
19.
Okay, take 5 points of damage. 11. Fire damage as this is like coming up
You
over
guys doing okay?
the.
Peachy.
And with that, you start to feel this molten energy that's pulling you upwards. The rest of you are watching as Eldon and Zuruk are ascending up. Through this spiral of flame and light and up higher through this like narrow opening and up into the sky itself. They are no longer in your periphery at all. What are you doing, the rest of you, as you see Eldon and Zuruk ascend and out of your vision?
Ayla just goes, fuck. And she is going to cast Aid at 4th level on everybody. So you all get 15 hit points, and your hit point maximum also goes up by 15.
Nice. Wish I was able to get that.
You're in you're in a lava volcano.
I'm currently
Twister.
Are you all staying in this room?
would not
Put
recommend.
it in the wrong spot. Put it in the wrong spot.
I'm trying to remember how to make my hit point maximum
The,
go up.
the center one.
Max HP modifier.
Yeah, just put 15, so that'll add 15 to whatever you had and increase yours by 15.
Oh, okay.
So
So if they're spinning up into the air and I just do that, the path behind us.
is still there.
Is
The
still
tunnel is still
there.
there. You can still go. I'm gonna have everybody make a con save while you're deciding what you're gonna do.
Pick
Con
another
save
dice.
for the heat thing, or
Yes. So you're okay.
17.
Oh, god damn, dude.
Oh, welcome to the club.
You have a 3rd level of exhaustion.
Natural 1. For a total of 7.
Okay. You were fine up to this point. You have 2 levels of exhaustion.
21.
Okay. You're okay. You're with your one
Guys,
or
I'm
however
so
many levels.
sorry.
It's all right. We're all
You're,
getting fucked up for the cause. It's all good.
I don't even know what the cause is going to be.
No, it's
Your
okay.
movement
We'll
is
find
reduced
out
by
with
5
you.
as well. Have 3.
How many
5 feet.
exhaustion levels do you have now?
3.
3 to 2. Okay. Are you getting out of the room?
yes.
Yeah, let's get the
I-
fuck out of here.
Since I'm-
going out. The
I don't.
entrance?
I mean,
There is
Technically, we
a
can-
like
Oh, okay,
fire.
I was
we're
gonna
going
say
out,
we
we're
can
on
all
top.
fly now, so we can all
fly.
Superman it up.
Not
But
if there's
You
fire.
can-
I'm just gonna-
You can make it. You can.
We can
still
certainly try.
You can certainly try.
being the most okayish one here, I'm just going to grab whoever the two next to me and just go, "We have to get out of this chamber," and just start pulling towards the door, cave entrance.
As you run out, you see the Liberators. They begin to follow you, and Theratrix and Pyrathoran like stand. You take one last look back at them. It's almost like they're roaring at each other, like this small dragon along the side and this humongous one, but they are roaring in tandem, and you're not sure, just maybe to fill the chamber. It's an interesting sight, but also you're not sure how they're surviving this. You head up and out of the tunnel. Meanwhile, you get pulled upwards, Eldon, with Zuruk, and far above the mountain, anyone looking at you would see this just thin spiral of fire.
So this is like a we've come out of like a volcano top, and we're in
it is, yeah.
Are we in the air now?
You're in the air.
Okay.
Yes.
It's some
less,
sort of hole that we
yes,
came
it's a hole. Yeah, less of a volcano, more of like this hole in the space. You look down, and then you see far below. You look off to the southwest, and you can see where the womb would be. And you know this like ancient cradle where drakes are birthed begins to collapse. And the mountain trembles, and there's this deep kind of resonant groan, and all of this echo through the stone. And where this space that had housed countless generations of drakes just completely implodes in on itself. And the ground beneath just shatters. There's debris and flame that is spiraling. And where the womb once was is like a scar across the mountain range. And then you see, as you are watching this, like Zuruk you feel like the tightening of his grip on your shoulders, almost to say like, it's okay, and that this is the sacrifice. Then you begin to see the elements starting to converge. There's fire and ice, lightning, poison, acid, all of these essences that spiral together and this kind of form this vortex, twists and writhes like it's a living thing. And then you see what you can only imagine is the form of Vascan Veterix, this colossal form that takes shape, scales that are shimmering in the night sky, wings that are stretching across the heavens, and eyes that are burning like the twin suns. You both, Zuruk and yourself, look up towards it. There are tears like that begin to form in his eyes, and immediately almost like sizzled away before they can fall. A presence that just fills the sky, blotting out the light from the suns, as this is happening in the morning. Is there anything that you do in this moment?
He watches in amazement. Again, like Zuruk, tears in his eyes. I don't think he'd be able to speak. This is much more than he had ever imagined.
You hear Zuruk says, he whispers it's almost inaudible over the roaring of this wind. And he says, the eyes are open and the world will change. And you see this form of Vascan Veterix kind of swirls around in the sky, spiraling upwards. It begins to kind of disappear, almost like piercing into the heavens above you. And while you cannot look directly at them, it is as if this form begins to head directly towards the Woven Suns. And you see the last traces of this spirit vanish into the light of the suns above. And then the world holds its breath. The rest of you running through the tunnels, you head up, and notice that even as you are passing people, the majority of them are actually on the ground, and some are weeping, and some are openly crying, others holding each other, and you do not see any drakes at all. There is a mixture of keepers and liberators in the main hall, as it seemed as if they'd made their way past the bridge and were coming through. And the feeling in this space is of like tremendous loss, but also the tears as you begin to look at them have a mixture of sadness and joy, depending on who you're looking at, if they're wearing keeper clothes or liberator. And as this blinding light from the suns and Vasca and Veterix disappearing as it fades, you feel the heat from that maelstrom just like dies down underneath you, and you are in the sky with Zuruk holding your shoulders, and he looks you directly in the eyes, and he smiles just a little. And as you both begin to fall down from the sky, you are immediately swept up by your dragons. Pyrothorin comes up underneath Zuruk and just lifts him up and away, and Theratrix, much larger than he was only moments ago, comes up underneath and takes you in the other direction, and you both like gently are brought down through that space and down into the molten chamber below. And the weight of what has transpired just kind of settles in that room. The heart of this molten roost is quiet, and all of the elemental forces are gone, and the drakes are gone. And as Theratrix and Pyrothorin land on the edges of the heart, there's a deep silence that fills this chamber. And in that silence, the eyes of the World Dragon have been opened. And that is where we will end the session.
Oh my god!
That was so much. That was so much.